I'm Becky Mayer, and welcome to Transitions, Body, Mind, Spirit. Transitions. We all have different transitions in our life. I like to use the metaphor of triathlon, something that I do. And in a triathlon, first you get in the swim, and then you transition and get on the bicycle, and then you transition again and get in the run. And that is just such a great metaphor for what we do in life. We do many, many things. And today we have an amazing person, Danielle Ontiveros, who has transitioned from so many things, whether it be due to a hurricane or the amazing product that she does. I mean, this is an amazing an example of how you are dealt some different things and how do you bounce back. So, welcome.
Thank you.
And I want to say the first thing that you are famous for is, and all the crew knows how wonderful your Grab the Gold wonderful product. And that's the first thing we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to talk about your whole background and how you got to this. Okay. So tell us, what is this wonderful product?
Grab the Gold is a chocolate peanut butter protein snack bar. It's something that I made all the way back in 1990. And I had a need myself for not liking breakfast food. So I created this in one evening, but like you said, we'll get to that part. The amazing thing is that this is an appropriate snack for everyday use. It could be for a child, it could be all the way up to an Olympic athlete. So it is something for on-the-go busy people, just to grab a snack. We have limited time, busy schedules, everyone has that. So this is a snack that you can feel good about eating, get the right amount of protein, and have balanced energy for 3 to 4 hours.
Wow. Wow. And the fact that you created this at the age of 16? Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes.
Yes. I
feel like more than anything, this is a wonderful product that has lasted for 27 years in a very competitive market. We've never done any advertising or marketing, and I don't really think that it's possible for one person, a child, basically a teenager, to have created a product like this. I really feel that this was a gift from God, because how could someone 16 years old go in and mix up a recipe and start selling this product the next day and it live on for 27 years, one product, one flavor? I mean, there's millions, I feel like millions of different snack bars out there now, different nutritional bars, and yet this one is wildly popular.
The amazing thing is they're wildly popular now more than ever, but when you were 16 years old in your mama's kitchen, you just were thinking, I want something to eat and I don't like what's out there?
Yes, exactly. And that's it. You know, I feel like that happens to a lot of people, that they find that there's a need. They want something for themselves. A lot of people do this. They have ideas and inventions that they do for themselves. And there's always that thing in the back of their mind that, I wonder if other people would like this. I wonder if this is a product or a service I could offer. And that's the seed for entrepreneurship.
And when you first did that, and you had your product and you're 16, and how did you go to, well, I'll sell this? How'd you do that?
It didn't take long. I made the product, I made this bar. My mom said, this is great, can I have another? My mom never wants seconds of anything. So a light went off in my head that this is a great product. This is something that I didn't know what I had at that moment, but I thought I could go ahead and sell this. I made up extra, and the next morning put them in a basket, dressed up, and walked around my neighborhood selling them to people, you know, in local businesses and people in their offices. It wasn't, I wouldn't say, a wild success that day. It was something that I experienced a little disappointment, not being as accepted as I thought it would, but it didn't stop me. My mom, you know, encouraged me, said that I had a lot of confidence and courage to go out and just try something. You know, we started out then with the idea that maybe it would have been better to ask friends, family, and neighbors, not just go straight for walking into people's offices and stores.
Hi, Here, would you want one? Or?
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I did though. And my mom told me it would be a multi-million-dollar business and not to give up.
Your mom told you that?
Yeah, she knew right away. She said, this will be a multi-million-dollar business. Do not give up. There were several times I wanted to give up.
Wow. Is she psychic, or she just really believed that you had it?
Both, I think. She has a great intuition and a good feeling for what's to come.
Wow. And basically this business is multi-million-dollar business here in Nashville.
Yes, it is.
Right. But I find your background absolutely fascinating. You're a businesswoman, but you gave me the very interesting bio that you started in, well, you were raised in California till you went to Louisiana. And then, interesting enough, you were in a house that is one of the most haunted for the Smithsonian. How did that happen? You were a young girl?
Yes. It was one of those interesting transitions.
Yes.
Living in Southern California, it was, you know, it's very competitive, it's very high stress. My mom wanted to get away from that kind of lifestyle and to live in a different area. She had a friend who owned the Myrtles Plantation. It's in St. Francisville, Louisiana, and she needed a manager. And my mom said, why not? Let's go there and live. And we lived on the plantation for about 9 months. And it's a beautiful, beautiful home with a rich history. Also being known as one of the most haunted houses in the United States.
And did you feel that also?
Yes, yes. Being 12 years old at the time, I'm sure a little bit of imagination played into it, but there's no doubt. I mean, it's documented. And
there are things happening there.
Yes. A lot of history, a lot of history over the couple hundred years it's been there.
Oh, wow, interesting. And then you ended up going to New Orleans? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And how was that transition for you as a California girl coming to the South?
Yes, it was a very difficult transition moving to the South for me. I was very open. I was very enthusiastic. I just didn't have, I don't know if I would say filters, I just had a lot of enthusiasm. And people didn't quite know how to take that. I had a little bit of a Valley girl accent back then. Okay. And I think that a lot of people didn't know what to make of me. So it was a little bit hard transition. It was rough. I experienced bullying, which, you know, is more prominent now with the awareness of that. I experienced bullying and teasing by teachers and students.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really rough. So I made the decision along with my mother that for high school, I really wanted to be homeschooled. I wanted to be around adults. I wanted to be in a nurturing environment. I felt torn. I felt like I knew who I was when I was at home, but then I felt that when I went to school, there was peer pressure, there was teasing. I felt uncertain of who I was. But when I got home, after a few hours, I would feel back to myself again. But I just felt myself being torn, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I just said, you know, this is I was aware of that at that age, that it was a very important time, you know, being a teenager, to know who you are and to make that transition as you get older to be a confident, you know, person who knows who you are. And I just wasn't finding that school was conducive, public school anyway, so I chose to be homeschooled for high school.
Wow, homeschooled, and you felt more comfortable, and you learned to be supported by your mom. And then you also had mentioned that you went to all these different countries. What a great education that is. Tell us about that.
My first trip out of the country, I'd been to Mexico when I was probably about 10, but when I was homeschooled, my mom said pick any country in the world and do a report on it. And so I just chose Denmark. I have no idea why. And I did a report on it. I gave her an oral report. I even needle pointed a Danish flag. I made some Danish food. I mean, this is like, some people are concerned about homeschooling their children, but I was always been an overachiever. So she just asked for a report about the country.
You're doing the cooking, and the needle pointed the flag. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and so after I did the presentation, she said, well, guess what? We're going to take a field trip. We're going to Denmark.
Wow.
So that was the first of many trips, but we traveled the world, lots of different countries. Not even mostly Europe. I mean, we went to Russia, Morocco, and Egypt, and Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. We went to a lot of different countries and spent a lot of time there. So by the time I was 25, I had been to 25 countries, or over 25 countries. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a great education because I felt that it's part of my growing and learning experience. When you reach out and you connect with other people who are different than yourself, you learn more about the world, but you also learn how unimportant we are. I think that when we stay in a comfortable place within ourselves, when we stay within our routine and our environment, it can tend to make us feel important, or it can tend to make us feel comfortable. But when you step outside something, your environment, you experience so much more and realize how big the world is and really how small our troubles or concerns are.
Right. Wow. And you were doing all these different countries with your mom. Was she speaking? You said that she is a spiritual teacher.
A lot of times she was there and helping people in different countries. She was ministering to them, and she was doing healing work for people. A lot of times she was there on behalf of people who had invited her to their country.
Wow. Wow. That's a fabulous education for you.
Yes.
Wow. And then did you decide you wanted to go to college, or was that something not really on your radar?
Oh, it's interesting. So my mother gave me the decision, or gave the decision to make. You can go to college or you can go to flight school, because I had been interested in becoming a pilot. And that decision took about 20 seconds. I said, I want to go to flight school. So I became a pilot and flew planes before I even had a driver's license. And
wow, that was your college, going to flight school.
Yes, and I really enjoyed it. I excelled at it. Had a lot of job offers before I even got my pilot's license. Had the military calling me for my test scores. It was just really interesting. I had a lot of different opportunities. The whole time, though, I'll mention this, while I'm doing flight school, I'm still making the Grab the Gold snack bars.
You're still doing this?
Yes, just never stopped. I just always added things to it.
Wow. So you still had that business going, and that's never really stopped, other than when Katrina came.
Right.
So, yeah. But back to your flight school days. So were you employed as a pilot?
I never got to the point of being a commercial pilot while I was in training. I flew some charters. We were going from New Orleans to Destin, and I decided that I didn't like it. It's terrible to say, but inside I felt like I was a glorified bus driver. You just get in there and go to one point and then turn around and come back. And you have your headphones on, you're in the instruments, you're on the radio, but I wasn't being able to interact with people. And that's a part of me that I really need. I need to connect with people, and even through my business, it's not transactional. It's about the business relationships that I make, the friendships that I make with people. That's what's most important to me. So I felt that, being a pilot wasn't really, I fulfilled the dream. I fulfilled my desire to become a pilot, but I didn't feel like that's where I wanted to go ultimately in my life as a profession.
Right. So then the next transition, somehow or other, you thought about being a massage therapist? From pilot to massage therapist?
Yes, I told you I needed to be around people.
Yes, well, that's intimately around people. How did that pop in your mind?
Well, actually, my mom had a few friends that were massage therapists, and so I had grown up around that from the age of 13, just having massages, learning about the importance of, that for your muscles and for flexibility and also stress release. And so I was really, very comfortable with it. And I started out just giving foot massages and hand massages to my mom and her friends, and that was through my teenage years. And through that, I just said, I think this is something that I really want to do, because I want to be able to give back to people and change their lives. And even if it's through giving them a massage, if they feel better, then I'm going to be making a difference. And instead of just going about maybe getting a job at a salon or a day spa or, I don't know, a gym, I started out by sending a letter to Mike Ditka, who was the head coach at the Saints.
Mike Ditka, is that the same guy that was with Chicago?
Yes.
The coach.
The coach.
You sent a letter to the coach.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and when he received it, I offered him a massage, and when he received it, he called me the day he opened it, the second he opened it, and said, "I would like a massage. Can you come to the facility now?"
Whoa.
Like, not tomorrow, but now.
How bold. How
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he really liked it, and he said that he was going to become a regular weekly client, which he did, and to start, offering massages to the football players. And within no time, I had basically the entire team, getting massages, and I would just go to their homes and work till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and
Oh my heavens.
yeah, go to their training camps and their hotels the night before a game, and just make sure that they were ready and that they could play their best.
Wow. Well, I have a number of friends of mine that are massage therapists, and based on what they tell me, doing large muscular men is work.
Yes.
And what is that like? I mean, these are behemoths.
Yeah, sometimes the massages an hour and a half was usually the minimum,
Right.
just because they had so many problem areas, their low back, their knees, they're just whatever was bothering them. And then they had a lot of stress in relation to their physical effort, as well as their job is very stressful to them. So it was exhausting for me. I usually had a lot of back pain.
You had back pain.
Yeah, I was.
You needed a massage therapist.
I was seeing massage therapists, chiropractor, doctors. It was a lot of times I had thoracic strains. My back was strained a lot. It's a lot of pressure. Generally 80 to 100 pounds of pressure, like putting on there at all times.
Whoa.
So it was basically almost like lifting weights for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Yes.
And then again, still making grab the gold during this whole time. Grab the gold was being made by hand and hand packed and everything at this time. So I would literally work from about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, go ahead and do my grab the gold business, and then when they got out of practice around 1 o'clock, I would start doing massages till about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, sleep for about 2 hours and go again. So.
Whoa, you don't need a lot of sleep then.
Not then, not in my 20s.
Wow. Wow, and were any of the NFL players going, I like grab the gold, I want that?
Yes, a lot of them were offering to, be sponsored by Grab the Gold. Some of them said, "This is so good, can you make a bar for me? I want my own bar, like under my name." And,
yeah.
But yeah, they all loved them.
Yeah, wow, wow. And so how long did you do the massage with the team? This is the Saints in New Orleans?
Yes, the New Orleans Saints, I did massages for them for 10 seasons.
10 seasons, that's a lot.
It's a very long time.
That is a lot. Wow, and what made you decide, well, it's time to part ways?
I had thought about it a couple times, and I had retired, but I actually had a lot of people either very upset, football players or coaches very upset, or even crying.
Oh, wow.
It tugged on my heartstrings that I was needed. So I really wanted to focus on my snack bar business, but it's hard to say no to people when you have a close relationship with them, in life. Especially if you're a business where it's an interpersonal business, it's difficult to say no. I'm not going to help you because I'm doing something else. So really that decision got made for me by Hurricane Katrina.
Katrina, the hurricane. So
Yes.
you were living in New Orleans and doing the massage therapy and grab the gold and not getting much sleep. And then Katrina came. What happened?
Okay, so I was actually making grab the gold because I knew that there was going to be a big hurricane hitting. I was actually making them at the moment when people were evacuating the city. And then we got the news that they were going to close the city by 5 p.m. And so anyone who wants to get out, get out. So I just, cleaned up the kitchen, still cleaned up the kitchen at our facility, and went home, and my mom, her friends, we put all of our pets in our cars, and we evacuated. And it was interesting. We evacuated to Little Rock, Arkansas, and the next morning we were watching the news of the levees breaking and the flooding, and it was the most devastating thing because it was surreal. You know, you live there, you know it, you're looking at the streets on TV that you know, you're wondering how people are. The cell phones weren't working at all. You don't know who's safe and who's not. And what's going to become of the city where you live and the people who you know and love. It was a difficult time emotionally.
I bet. And then was your home literally destroyed?
Yes, it was. It was.
Whoa. So then what happened? There's no business.
Yes.
Everything is at a standstill. You're not massaging people. There's no grab the gold.
Yes, the Saints wanted me to fly back and put me in a hotel and continue working. But I said, I don't have a place to live, and I don't want to be in a temporary situation. I want to move on with my life. So I opened my emails in the hotel room in Little Rock, Arkansas, and the question was, where do I live?
Where do you go?
Don't want to go back to California. I've been there. I want to start somewhere new. And started crying because there were all these emails, Becky, and these emails were from the greater Nashville area. And these people were saying, we love you, we love your product. You don't know us, but we buy your product at the store. Do you want to come live with us? Do you need money? Do you need clothes? You know, it's just wonderful offers. There was prayers. People were telling funny stories, and, you know. And over and over, I looked at all of these people who I didn't know, and they were all from this area. And I said, that's a sign right there. That's where we need to live.
So that you moved here.
Yes, everyone said we wanted to be a Nashville product or at least a Tennessee product. They wanted the pride of saying it's made in Nashville.
Wow. Wow. So that was, how long now have you been in Nashville? And kind of give us some statistics on how Grab the Gold has gotten bigger and bigger and more stores, and where can people get it?
Right. It's been 12 years. We've grown about 20 times over from our revenue from where we were before the hurricane. So the business just continues increasing double-digit growth every single year, and we've now spread to over 2,000 stores across the country, and you can get them from our website and from Kroger and Walgreens. It's just an amazing growth now. The main thing I really like about it is having a business where we can support local people for them to be trained and grow and have opportunities. So I like to be hands-on in the business to really help a lot of people.
And what is your vision? Do you envision a new product and your product in all states worldwide? Is that part of it for you?
Yeah, I'm not a very ambitious person, but the
You're
product.
Not?
I mean,
it doesn't seem that way.
I guess I would say I'm not ambitious in that I don't have a goal and need to conquer things. I let things grow organically and show me where it wants to be led. So with Grab the Gold, it's just been growing, you know, by itself. It's really organic. It's the word of mouth of loyal customers. And so we've now been asked to make another product by a major grocery store. So we're going to make another flavor, which will be out in the fall.
Another flavor. Will it have peanuts in it?
This one will, yes.
Okay.
And I think until we're a larger facility where we can have separate, or maybe even a separate facility for non-peanuts.
Right, for people who have allergies or whatever. Yeah. Wow. So you'll have a new product, and you don't necessarily have a design to conquer the world, but you're just going to organically let it kind of come through.
Yes, that's a great description.
Okay. All right. And then as far as your living style, it sounds like you're kind of a country-ish type. You have acreage where you live, and are you a nature person or?
I love nature. I have to be around a lot of trees and a lot of animals, wild animals. I don't care, dogs, cats, farm animals, but I just love animals, wildlife, and trees. And it's just, to me, the part of, you know, you have traffic and you have your business and you have daily life, but when you come back home and you're around trees and it's just so nurturing and relaxing, to me it's just a part of kind of coming back to who you are. And just being in a natural state. It's so important.
It sounds like the home is your sanctuary.
It always has been.
Yeah. And are you planning on doing traveling like you did with your mom? Is that a part of it, or you've kind of burned out on that?
I love to travel. I love adventures. I love meeting new people. It's just a matter of finding the time. And, you know, life is short. Life is important. Meeting new people and experiences is important. So that's my goal, is to find time to enjoy it while I'm taking this journey, not postpone it.
And are you still doing the pace that you had, 2 hours sleep? It's amazing what you have done.
No, that's impossible now. At this age, it's impossible. I can pull some late nights if I have to, but 12 to 15-hour work days are fine.
Okay. Wow. It sounds like you're just letting things unfold in the right way, and you're in the right place, in the right sanctuary, and your business is like what, quadrupled, or how each year it seems to get bigger and bigger. And are you not, you say you don't advertise?
No.
No?
No, we don't even have a salesperson. It's 27 years and we've never had a salesperson. It's just, I think that who you are comes through in what you do. So I believe that there must be some magic in the Grab the Gold. I mean, it's a wonderful product, but we take care to make it with love. We have good intentions when we make it. We have good attitude. It's just really important to me, the environment in which your food's made. I just feel like it makes a difference.
Yes, I agree. Wow. Well, Danielle, thank you very much for being on the show. It's fascinating. Your whole background is fascinating, and I know your product is going to get more and more sales just naturally. And of course, this will be on Facebook, our Facebook site, and also we're going to put her website on our credits too, so people can find out more. And I'm sure it'll be in more stores, but right now they can get it online, or if at Kroger's or different soon.
Yes.
I guess they're just going to have to stay tuned on where else the product will be. So this is wonderful. Well, thank you very much. And a true example of transitions, body, mind, spirit. Thank you. Woo! Yay!